If you think confidence only exists on runways, you're wrong. Rainey is a walking sunshine, highlighting strengths and ignoring flaws. Other people's gazes are like magnifying glasses, but she's the invincible bird flying in the sky, soaring to the sweet tunes of Ethan's Thus, this pair of lovebirds became inseparable, with Rainey offering herself up like a buffet, yet they still had their fair share of minor squabbles. Rainey was all about the light, while Ethan preferred the dark. After some bickering, Ethan skillfully compromised, leading to a fabulous night together. The next day, Rainey took Ethan to the so-called secret meeting, expecting business tycoons, only to find out it was a family reunion with his shocker see Avery's grandma. Her grandma's a goddess-defying age, even old, her makeup's flawless, clothes as bright as fireworks. Many girls dream to age like that. Rainey was totally relaxed at the party, sharing her legendary tale of how she met Ethan with zero hesitation. With her charm, all eyes were glued to her like magnets, so Avery decided to invite her to represent and dazzle with a speech that would make flowers bloom. Her words were sharp, and her confidence was something many girls dream of, putting herself to shame. Avery thought Rainey was the perfect social butterfly, while unwittingly revealing her own insecurities. Stage fright came from her voice, yet Rainey had never spoken in front of a crowd before. She instinctively wanted to say no, but Grant piped, "Come on, Grandma's cheering for Avery too." Rainey eagerly agreed, like a kid thrilled to speak in Boston. From then on, Rainey's mindset erupted, as if expecting charm to shine everywhere, but reality hit her with cold water. Dining with the two eyes, the server was not only sparse but totally oblivious to the royal vibes, leaving Rainey no choice but to patiently explain. While eating, she felt out of place, thinking she should be dining with supermodels. Then Jenny just happened to walk by. She dashed over to greet her, pleading to join, and with the silent support of her two friends, she grabbed Jenny's hand and strutted off to the VIP room. To her friends, her actions were like betraying their trust, but Rainey was blissfully unaware, thinking her life was entering a whole new era. From then on, she only dined with supermodels, shocking others with her unrestrained eating. The beauties were left a bit speechless, as Rainey became increasingly adept at her job, even mastering the art of adaptability. Tonight, her friends took her to meet two new acquaintances. Surprisingly, she entered and said she shouldn't dress so flashy, attracting all the boys. But when it comes to crucial moments, she'd shift the spotlight onto her friends, leaving them feeling quite uncomfortable, though they stayed quiet. Then at the dinner table, she kept interrupting her friends, unintentionally pulling all the boys' attention back to herself, even throwing some shade at her friends on purpose. You gotta ride the wave of excitement and show them just how boring you can be later. Do you think we're boring? Let's dive in, you're gonna love this. Come on, let's party. Rainey casually ordered a drink, and when the server glanced her way, she was convinced she had him in check. Even the two guys drinking with her were totally smitten. Her friends were left scratching their heads, wondering if Rainey's confidence came from another planet. At first, it seemed normal. Now she's gone manic. The next day, Rainey arrived at the airport in a blue suit, acting like signing a $1 trillion deal. But once on the private jet, she was hit with the shocking sight. Avery, looking totally defeated, sitting inside. Rainey was buzzing like a kid on a sugar high, trying to share her excitement with Avery, who just wanted some peace and quiet from her chat. Eventually, Rainey zipped it, but then Grant popped up behind them, calling her overseas. Turns out he was just passing by on the way to catch a game in Boston. In front of Grant, Rainey felt a tiny twinge of nerves, and while practicing her speech at the hotel, there came an unexpected knock at the door. Thinking it was room service, she opened the door only to find Grant. Turns out Avery had put a freeze on her credit card. Even the room phone was down, so Grant wanted to use Rainey's phone to order food. She was born to be a smooth operator. A few playful teases sent Rainey's heart pounding with excitement, and instantly the atmosphere turned all smoky and steamy, just as if they were engaged in a seductive tango dance. Grant plopped down on Rainey's bed like he owned the place, inviting her to join him, and her breathing hitched as emotions seemed teetering on the edge. Just as things were heating up, Rainey spotted a photo of herself with Ethan and casually mentioned her stomachache, pushing Grant out the door like a pro. She might just be the first woman to reject Grant, leaving him looking like a sad little kitten, while Rainey rushed into the bathroom, trying to cool off with a shower, but then she heard Grant's voice outside. In a panic, she accidentally crashed into the glass door. When she finally snapped back to reality, she realized she had missed her rendezvous with Avery, rushing down to the hotel lobby to hunt for her. But instead, she ran into her old coworker Chubby. They'd said goodbye with the bathroom door in between them, so had never seen her glow up. Surprisingly enough, Chubby was able to recognize her at first glance. Rainey walked up to the mirror, with her heart pounding nervously, and slowly opened her eyes, only to see herself morph back into her old self. She was stunned, saying, What happened to my magic? On was the gorgeous queen. Instead, she returned to her plain self. Chubby stared at her meltdown with confusion, while Winnie cringed at the thought of facing Avery like this. So she hurriedly asked Chubby to pass on her speech materials, hopping on a plane to slink back to her old life. Staring at her unremarkable reflection, a wave of disgust washed over Rainey. Avery called her several times, but she rejected each one, burdened with endless frustration. Then Ethan called via video. She hid under the table, telegraph paragraph R3, not daring to show her face, and made up a back pay excuse. Ethan wanted to come and care for her, but she turned him down, settling for a weekend date instead. Rainey was too lazy to pretend, so she just agreed casually, living the dream of not working and sleeping in. Not washing face or hair, shopping when hungry, then snubbed by a guy. Rainey was annoyed.